Okay, so in the having clause, before starting the having clause, we will see what we did in the last session, which was the group by clause. So in the group by clause, the select statement, whatever we select, okay, whatever we select, these are the columns that we select, that we want to see. If we run this query, okay, just a minute. Okay, if we run this query, yeah, these are the three statements that we will see. These are the three columns that we will see: the department, the department gender, which is into the group by clause, right? And an aggregated column, max of salary. Max is an aggregate function, so this column right here is an aggregated column. Fine, that is a group by theory. But why can't we use the where clause? Here we are using where clause. Where clause is to tell what condition we want to apply after we have selected all these three columns. After we have selected all these three columns, we want to tell the SQL that what columns you have to group. These are the columns that are grouped, and what condition you want. So to tell the condition, there is always a where clause. Fine, there is a where clause, but you can see there is an X, which means the where clause is not working on this query. Okay, for that, in SQL language, there is a clause which is called as a having clause. As a having clause, this is called as an having clause. So in having clause, it is defined like when we use the group by clause. When we use the group by clause, it creates groups, right? It creates group. You can see here, when we are using the group by clause, it creates group like mechanical only. It creates mechanical male, mechanical female. It is creating a group, right? Two male in mechanical, so it is one group of mechanical for males, one female in mechanical, so one group of mechanical female, right? So groups are created. Fine, this much definition is right. When we use group by clause, it creates group. Okay, so groups of rows, these are groups of rows. Okay, and they are like based on one or more column. Okay, they are based on one or more column. And the having clause is used to filter these groups. What does that mean? Now over here, these are the grouped rows. Like department is mechanical, maximum salary is this much, minimum salary is this much. These are the grouped rows, right? It is not a single row. The rows are grouped into a particular group. Okay, yeah. So if you want to apply some condition to this, okay, to this, then we are using the having clause. We use the having clause. I can write here having. I can write here having. See, here there are two salaries having max salary, max underscore sal, greater than, we can say 12 lakhs. This much query. See, if I run this much query, if I run this, I will get this table only. But when I am putting an having clause, having is basically putting condition. It is basically putting condition. It will filter these groups. Now whatever groups we are getting over here, to filter them, we use having. We cannot use where. When we use where on a grouped clause, on a grouped rows, we are getting an error. I will tell you why. So first we can run this maximum salary greater than this. See. So here we are getting maximum, just a minute. Error. Okay, yeah. So here we are only getting people whose maximum salary is greater than 12 lakh. Before that, you can see maximum salary. If I select this much query and run it, you can see the maximum salaries in mechanical was 18, 11, 13, 16, 9. Electrical was 11, computer was 9. So these two are discarded because they are below 12. We want maximum salaries who are above 12. So when rows are grouped and we want to put some condition on them, at that time we use the having clause. So that's the definition of having clause. When we use group by clause, it creates group of rows based on one or more column. Okay, the having clause is used to filter these groups. This is a very simple definition of the having clause. Okay, yeah. So it is designed. The having clause is designed to be used with aggregated functions, or you can say in simple terms, in the interview term, used in conjunction with aggregated function. With aggregated function. Okay, what does it mean? It means that having clause can be used with this aggregated. See, this max sal, what is it? It is a token name for this aggregate function, maximum of salary. We have saved it as max sal, token name max sal. Yeah, so we are putting condition that select only those those columns, those rows, those groups that are having maximum salary which is greater than 12 lakhs. So these are the columns which have maximum salary greater than 12 lakh. Okay, similarly we can even also put the having clause over here. See, if we run this, what is it? Write a query to group element by department and calculate average salary. So these are the departments and these are the average salaries of the department. Like in mechanical, how many whatever people are there, addition of their salary and divided by the number of employee, we get the average of it. That's how you calculate the average. Fine. If I want to tell here that give me people who are having average salary, give me the departments only whose average salary is greater than 12 lakh. So I'll again put here a having clause, and I'll write here average salary, avg underscore salary, and it should be greater than 12 lakhs. Now if I run this query, see, electrical and computer and chemical, it will also go away because it is equal to 12 lakh. It is not greater than 12 lakh. See, if I run this query, mechanical and civil only, which are higher than 12 lakh. If I want to include the department which has 12 lakh, we have to put greater than or equal to sign over here. Now if I run this query, see, I will get chemical whose average is exactly 12 lakhs. So this is how a having clause works. It is very similar to the where clause, but they both are different. A having clause is used when we are working on a group of rows. Okay, a group of rows, or when there, or it is working with aggregated functions. These are the two conditions on which having clause work, but you can use it on non-aggregated also, non-aggregated and non-grouped. What is the meaning of non-aggregated and non-grouped? This right here, the whole table, is it grouped by anything? No, we have mechanical differently, right? So this table, these columns are not grouped. Are we finding average of anything in this table? In this particular query, are we finding average of anything? No. So these are non-aggregate functions. So here also I can write the having clause, having salary greater than 12 lakhs. If I run this, it will work. It is giving me salaries, people whose salaries are greater than 12 lakh. So these columns right here, they are not grouped and they are not aggregated, right? Mechanical are different over here. They are not grouped, right? And they are not aggregated. We can use having like this, but this is not preferred. Preferred. Okay, this is not preferred, right? Because for that we have the where clause. If you want to write some condition, there is always a where clause for it. There is always a where clause. It will give you the same result. But when we are not working with a grouped and a non-aggregated columns or a non-aggregated data, we use the where clause. But when there is aggregated data like this is an aggregated data, right? We are making groups and we are calculating average of it. Average means aggregate, right? Aggregate function. And this department is also grouped by mechanical, civil, chemical. That time we use having clause, because having clause, it works very good with the group data and aggregated data. Simple, plain and simple. Whereas the where clause will not work with aggregated data. Here is an aggregated data, it is not working on it, because a where clause, see, a where clause, as I told you, is a row operation. Previous lecture I told you, it will go to individual row, it will go to this row, this row, this row. If you group it like this, it will not have rows, individual rows, so it has no rows to go to perform row operations. That's why it requires individual rows. So that's why we use the having clause. Fine. Okay. Now, fine. Group employees by department and include only those department with more than 2 employees. Okay. So first, I know I have to group this department. What do I need? Group of element by department. We have to group by department. Okay. And include only those department who has more than 2 employees. Right. So first we'll start. Select. We know what we want. We want a department. Fine. Okay. We want department. Department from employee. Okay. Select department and group by employee. Group by department. Okay. Fine. Let's see what do we get. Okay. We get all the departments. Now we want number of employees. To find the number of employees, what do? We use the count aggregate function. Count. Okay. Count everything, all rows. Okay. Count everything as, we will use alias as number of employees. We are giving this another column a name, number of employees. Now if I run this, what will I get? Mechanical has 3, electrical has 3, civil has 2, chemical 2, computer 1. We have written this query above also. If you people would have practiced it, you will know that this is written above. But here we have a condition. What condition? Only those departments with more than 2 employees. So this is an aggregate, this is an grouped column by a group by clause. Grouped column, yes. This is an aggregated column, this is a grouped column, right? And this is an aggregated column. So over here I cannot write where. Can I write where? No, I can't. I'll get an X over here. I have to write here having clause, because we have grouped and aggregated data. That is the only reason we are using having clause. Otherwise we would have used the where clause. Okay. Having number of employees. Having number of employees. Number of employees greater than how much? 2. This is the condition. This condition. Department with more than 2 employees. Now if I run it, these all 3 will go, only these 2 will remain. See. So this is how you use a having clause. You use it with an aggregated grouped column and an aggregated column. Only these 2 are allowed. Okay. Having clause. Okay. So moving on to the next theory. Having clause, you can practice it from here. Department average salary as average salary from employee, group by department having average salary greater than 10 lakh. So it will give all the one which are greater than 10 lakhs. And now are you clear why we can't use the where clause with the having clause? We can't use the where clause with having clause because where clause is row operation. It needs individual rows. Okay. It needs individual rows. It cannot work on grouped rows. Where clause cannot handle aggregated columns or grouped rows. So who can handle it? Having clause can handle it. So that's why we use having clause. So that is the main difference. If anyone asks you, you should know this. This is important. Okay, fine. This is your definition for the having clause. Plain and simple. Okay. Yeah. Next is the order by clause. We are going to the order by clause. This is a very simple clause. The order by clause is used to sort the result of set of queries in ascending or descending order based on one or more columns. Okay, fine. So let's see what we want to do. Okay. Query to show employees salary wise in ascending order. First we will see our whole table. Fine. Just for the sake of it. Select star from employee. Okay. Select star from employee. First we'll see this. Okay, so this is our table. Now what do we want? We want people based on salary wise in ascending order. So for that in SQL we have order by clause. We have the order by clause. Order by, now we can write here salary. If I write here salary, I will get all the salary in ascending order. The lowest ones are up and the highest one is below. Lowest ones are up, highest ones are below. Can you see? At the end the highest salary from lowest to the highest. Okay. So the order by clause is by default in ascending order only. It is by default in ascending order. You can see by default order sorts data in ascending order. But now let's say you want query to show employee salary wise in descending order. So you write the same query. Okay, you write the same query. But now after the salary column, see this is your order by clause. After that you write the column in which you want to sort. Okay, if you just write the column name, it will be in ascending order, but you want it in descending order, you have to write DESC, descending, only DESC. Now if I run this query, look, I'm getting my salary, all the columns salary wise in descending order. Can you see? So for ascending you don't have to write anything, for descending you write DESC. The last query for today, query to show employee department wise in ascending and salary wise in descending. So department should be in ascending order and salary should be in descending order. How will I write that query? So select star from employee. Okay, I've selected the whole table. Now what do I have to do over here? I have to select it by, order it by department wise in ascending and salary wise in descending. So I'll write here order by. Okay, which are the two things we have to see? Ascending in department, so DEPT department. I can write here ASC for ascending, but I don't need to. Okay, I can directly go to salary, and here I will write DESC. Now if I run this query, see C E M. So it has sorted in ASCII value order. The C is up, then there is E, then there is M, and their salaries are in descending order. The highest one in chemical is first, then the lowest one. Civil highest, then lowest. See, mechanical, the first salary is highest, lowest. See, this is in this whole column is in ascending order, right? A, B, C, D, E, F, G, E. Okay, C, D, E. So it is in ascending order, and for the particular department that are grouped, the salaries are in descending order. The highest one is first, and then the lowest one, second one. See here, highest first, then second, then third. Okay, so this is how you basically write the order by clause. Okay, so last part for today. Okay, so the SQL, in SQL, the logical processing order or the execution order for SQL clauses, okay, for the SQL query, the logical order for the SQL clauses, the first thing that is run is a from clause. What does that mean is, whenever we are looking at a query, let's say we are looking at this query, the from clause is executed first. See, you're writing select department count as number of employees from group. It does not mean that select will come first. No. When the query will run, it will first go to the from clause. Why will it go to the from clause? Because it wants to know from which table you're taking the whole data. So the from clause is always executed first. This is known as the order of execution of clause. The order of execution of clauses. This is known as the order of execution of clause. The first one is the from clause. Then the second one will be the where clause. It filter rows based on specific conditions. Right? Second, it will be the where clause. Wherever there is where clause, see, first there will be this from clause, it will go. Then it will go to the where clause. It will search where, what condition you want to apply. Okay, this is the condition that you want to apply. From clause, then where clause. Then it will go to the group by clause. Right? See. Then it will go to the group by clause. Then it will check, okay, this condition is right, fine. But what do you want to group? We want to group department and gender columns. So, however you write the query, the SQL will first execute from, then it will execute where, then it will execute group by. You can use any clause anywhere, right, according to your query, but their execution will be in this order: from, then where, then group by. If there is no where, it will execute from and then it will execute group by. Okay. After that, there is the having clause. After group by clause, there is the having clause. Fine, there is the having clause. It will execute having clause. See, from clause will execute first. Which table you want to get it, you have to tell it first. This table, okay. Group by, you have to tell them that you have to group by this particular department column, that this column you have to group by, okay. Then you have to go to the having clause. Having number of employees greater than 2. Okay, so it will only select people who are having number of employees, groups having number of employees greater than 2. After that, it will select the select clause, which specifies the columns, which column you want to show. After having clause, see, first from clause, then it will go to the group by, then having. After that, it will come to the select clause. Okay, what you want to display? Department and number of employees. Okay, you want to display department and number of employees. Then it will come to the select clause. And after that, there is the the distinct clause and the order by clause. Order by clause is executed at the last. Okay, so over here, the order by clause, which is over here, it will always be executed at the last. This right here, you have to by heart this. This is the order of execution of clause. SQL, in what manner it takes your query. You can write it this way. This is the syntax. Okay, what you are writing here, this is the syntax. But for SQL to execute that query for you, it will first go to from. It will ask you what table it needs. Okay, then it will ask you, okay, group by department. Okay, it will group by department. Then it will come to the select clause, that what we want to show to the user. We want to show him department and number of employees. Right? Here also, first from clause will be executed. This is our simple query, the very basic query, select star from employee. Here also, select is not executed first. First from is executed from, okay, this table. Then it will come to the select clause. Okay, select what? Star. Star means everything. So all columns are selected. This is known as the order of execution of the clauses, and you have to by heart this order. If they ask you what is the order of execution, from, then it will go to where, then group by, then having, then select, then distinct, then order by. You know all these clauses by now, and this is the end of the clauses.